Today we are reading Never Wear Old Work Shirts Out in Public, Someone Thinks I Work at Walmart, Where Do You Want These Chairs Put? I Jinxed Myself in an Asian Grocery, I Don't Work Here but Maybe I Should, and No, I Don't Work Here Just Because I'm on my phone. Check out our I Don't Work Here Lady playlist in the description, subscribe for more videos like these, and I trust you to reach 300 likes for this video. Let's do this. Never wear old work shirts out in public. I used to work in a deli for Martin's Grocery, also the same thing as Giant Grocery back home. It was an awful job, but easy at times. Anyways, we all had to wear these bright red t-shirts and jeans as our uniform that have Martin's on the front. Over the left side of the chest and on the back it says, "Can I help you? Yes, I can," in large lettering. I stopped working there when I traveled back to school in Pennsylvania, and I kept my t-shirts mostly as to sleep in or to wear when it's laundry day. So one Sunday I roll out of bed and I'm wearing my Martin's t-shirt. I put on my jeans and I head to the store to grab a few things. The closest store in town was a Giant, again one of our stores. The only thing was this store was completely backwards for my Martin's. I roll up, not even thinking about the shirt I'm wearing, and I'm walking around the store trying to get my stuff so I can go home and get some school work done. While I am shopping, this woman comes up to me and starts asking me where stuff was. It was a few years back, so I don't remember exactly what she was looking for. I think it was some sort of kind of bread or rolls that I know sometimes doesn't show up in her bread section, but will be by the deli or the bakery. I looked at her really confused cause I wasn't used to this store and some of the aisles were different from the ones back home. I kinda started bubbling out an answer and I told her, maybe try the bakery or something. I'm not 100% sure, I don't work here. She looked at me funny and glanced down at my shirt, which then prompted me to explain that I work at a Martin's back home, not the Giant here, and that everything was a bit different in this store. Finally, she left me alone. I also got odd looks from the workers there as if they were trying to recognize me. Someone thinks I work at Walmart. So this is kinda minor, but I thought it was pretty funny. So I was 13 years old at the time and my school uniform is strict, so I wore a navy shirt with a collar and some khakis, no idea how to spell them. So I understand where this lady came from. Me and my mom went to Walmart to buy some groceries and I had some extra money. I asked to go alone to the toy aisle, so I was walking around and this lady, probably in her 60s or something, asked me where the soup is. She was nice about it though, at first. Now me being completely antisocial, I just stood there. Well? She's very agitated. You speak English, right? Yes ma'am, I just don't know where the soup is. Sorry. I might as well just ask the wall or something. Now here, I'm just internally freaking out cause I didn't want to deal with her. I say sorry again and go to walk away. Hey, I still need your help. Why were you walking away? Were you just going to leave me alone? At this point, I finally realized what was happening. Oh, you must think I work here. I'm sorry, my school uniform looks similar to the Walmart uniform. This lady turns sheet white, then cherry red. Now, I just feel bad and she really regretted her decision. I'm so sorry, I honestly thought you worked here. No, it's okay. Hey, I understand. Have a good day. Haha. You too. I still feel bad even a year later, but I'm sure she's over it. This was done on mobile and this is my first post, so please don't hate on me. Also, some people might think it's fake, but my uniform looks extremely like the Walmart one, and I'm tall for my age, so my bad. Where do you want these chairs put? Someone made a post recently about a funeral that made me think of yesterday afternoon. A family friend died. The memorial was held in a local community center. The departed was one of the most loving people I've ever known. A lot of people wanted to say goodbye. Best guess 300 people attended. The place was packed, and the folks who attended brought more than enough food so no one went hungry. My wife helped out with planning the event and even created a slideshow of pictures for the attendees to watch after everyone was finished eating. She knew many of the people there and they knew her. I help set up the tables and unstack chairs at the start, help set out some of the food, then chase after my kids during the event. Not many people there knew me. For a variety of reasons, I stood out from the rest of the attendees: dress, race, clothing, activity, etc. A lot of people saw me running about after my kids and their friends. Once the slideshow ended, people started to leave and folks starting to clean up. I picked up trash and then moved on to stacking chairs and moving tables. At least a dozen people came up to me asking how they could help, how I wanted the place to look, where stuff should go, etc. I assume at first they were like me and just trying to help out. They'd ask where the rolling cart should go and I'd say, well, folks have been using it to the ferry pans of food up and down the ramp. They will comment about how every weekend it all begins again until you collapse at the end of the day, hosting community events. And I will say yes, it does, but they keep me on my toes, chasing after my kids and their friends. They will ask me if it was okay that the kids play near the front entrance. Is that okay with management? And I'd say sure, that's fine. They know not to go out in the mud. They will ask me where to put the tables and chairs, and I'd say, well, I've been stacking them against the wall. And they will thank me on how nice the event was, and I say, I'm glad you liked it, and my wife spent a lot of time on it, etc. It was only at the end that a few made comments obviously intended for a community center employee. Then I mentally reviewed the others and the light came on. Oh, so that's what they meant. I also realized that I mistook someone else for an employee. Every person I met was kind and generous. They were not an a-hole at all. I've attended about a dozen memorials and funerals, etc. and everyone, or almost everyone, at all of them behaved this way. Others have had different experiences at a funeral where the people attending showed their rear end. I jinxed myself at an Asian grocery. Hello Reddit, this is my first post, so I'm sorry if I get something wrong. A little background first. I'm half Asian, but most wouldn't know at first glance and just assume I'm 100% Asian. So my partner had taken me shopping at an Asian supermarket or grocery here in the US, and I have always hated shopping as I grew up kinda poor and there are not a lot of things in a grocery store that pops out at me. So I usually wander around aimlessly and play on my phone, mostly both. As I wandered around, I saw a milk crate in one of the aisles, thinking someone used it to sit down while stocking the lower shelf. I think to myself, hey, a free seat for my aching feet. So I sit down on it and play on my phone. After a minute of realization came to my mind. I'm wearing a plain black t-shirt and blue jeans, just like most of the workers here. So someone might mistake me for an employee that is slacking off if I stay here. I take my time getting up, and as I said, my feet were sore, and made my way to the check on my partner. They told to go find some specific spice, so I went off in search of it. I'm reading the labels of the bottles trying to find the spice. Then this Indian, not Native American, came up to me and asked where the oyster sauce, I believe, was. I could not hold back my smile as I'm thinking this might happen, so I told where I thought it was but mentioned that I didn't work there. She smiled, embarrassed, but thanked me and went to go find the sauce. After finding the spice, I went back to my partner and told them about the situation and we had a laugh about it. Not a big deal like most of the stories here, but I thought it would be funny enough to share. I do not work here, but maybe I should. I am minding my own business in the bakery section of the grocery store when I look up and a guy is pointing in my direction and waving a "come here" motion. I look behind me and no one is there, so I stroll over to investigate. When I get to him, he starts pointing at a slice of white cake. At this point, I have no idea what's going on, but then he points to a large sheet cake. He keeps alternating between the two. The only thing he was saying was this one between the pointing. Then it clicked. He did not speak English. However, I still did not know what he wanted. I think back to my 8 years of Spanish language education, but nope, all I can think to say is hola, adios, and no comprende. I didn't want to be a jerk, so I have to think up a new plan. I stand there through a couple of more cycles of his pointing, and I think I have a beat on my task. I look at the large sheet cake and it is chocolate cake with white icing. The slice is white cake with white icing. So I say to him, that's chocolate cake. To this, he says this one while pointing at the slice, and I say, no. So I locate the first white sheet cake with white icing and point to it. He says this one and points to the slice. I point at the big one, say this one and points at the small one. He says thanks hombre and rushed off. This particular cake, however, was fairy princess themed with a plastic crown and everything. No, I don't work here just because I'm on my phone. This is not a super interesting story where the person refuses to accept their mistake or gets violent, but I never thought this would happen to me, and I immediately thought of this subreddit when it happened. I was at Walmart in the gardening area looking for a spider nuke when this middle-aged lady approached me while I'm wearing a green crop top and standing next to my basket researching types of bug killers on my phone. Excuse me, do you know where I could find this specific flower seed mix here? I nearly started answering her in a customer service tone as I work in Costco. Just in not for Costco, so I'm used to knowing where things are as long as they are not missing or moved, and had just got off. But then I realized I was not in fact at work anymore and that she was somehow mistaking me for an employee. So thinking she just could not see colors well, I turned toward her, giving her a few seconds to notice I had no name tag, walkie or navy blue anything on, and no look of realization came up on her face. So I just decided to do my best to point her in the right direction to not be rude. Well, they have something called a garden mix on this end cap, but I don't work here. You may want to ask the lady outside through those doors, and I point. The lady's slow looks of realization. Oh, I'm sorry. I saw you were on your phone and assumed you were doing inventory or something. She ended up just walking off and thanking me for trying to help anyway. But seriously, how do you mistake a person slowly reading through their phone with a basket next to them for an employee when I was not wearing anything remotely similar to something an employee would wear? Guys, before you leave, please check out our awesome I Don't Work Here Lady playlist. I am sure you will love it. Remember to help us reach 300 likes for this video, subscribe to the channel for more awesome Reddit stories, and hit the bell button to know exactly when we post a new video and join the notification gang. Thank you again for watching this 31st episode of I Don't Work Here Lady. See ya!